Hey everyone, it's a custom build video day, and today we're going to be working on this, which is the PPK-20 from WELL Pro. Lancer Tactical actually sent this to me for free to do a kind of like a review video on. I've been desperate to play with this thing, but I still haven't been able to get hold of these, which are the mags. I think I can get them in Hong Kong at the moment, and I actually have got them on an order, I think with Octagon right now, but I've also got a pre-order item in that cart that I've paid for, and so it seems like they're delaying actually sending these mags to me. So it's kind of annoying, and I've been holding off because of that reason. But actually what I'm going to do today with you guys is just build this out to be what it's going to be like. Obviously, I'm going to need more mags to do it. I also heard a rumor that actually you can run regular AK mags in here. I think that might just be on the AEG version. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, that's true or that's not true. But this is like a Magwell adapter. And I heard that if you remove this somehow, you can actually like use an AK mag in there. And I think it might be that you need like a different mag catch or something along those lines. So I don't want to mess with it. But I was like, okay, that actually could be a way around me having the issue right now, is going and buying a load of AK-12 WELL Pro mags and like doing it that way because I can get those in the US. But for right now, we're just going to work on this, and I'm going to try and get hold of more of these if I can, which at the moment is just proving very difficult. So things that we're going to put on this. I've actually already taken the orange flash hider off because it's horrible. And obviously we're not going to be using that. I had a 3D printed one that I was running on here, but actually I removed that one as well. So right now that would have like a little orange horrible flash hider on, so just imagine that. The other thing that I already put on here is just this M-LOK Magpul QD mount. It actually has one that is on the stock. So there is one right here. So I love that location, but obviously you don't really have one on the front. So I put a Magpul QD mount on there. I may remove it, I may change the location. We'll work that out as we go through the build. But I think I have an idea of what I'm going to be putting on here today, and that stuff is over here. So the first thing that I'm actually going to put on is a tracer unit. We're going to actually like put something on the end of this PPK so that it's not looking as naked as it is now. Might take this mag out. That's a good idea. So this is the AceTech Blaster AK. It's really great because it's obviously a tracer unit in there, and it is like your AK flash hider muzzle device. So I actually got a lot of flack because I put this on my AKX, which I currently have on my AKX. I have a different version of this. And a lot of people were like, ick, that's disgusting, because it's a 5.56 tracer or muzzle device on a what should be a 7.62 in terms of like real steel, what the caliber of the cartridges are. I didn't even realize that that was a thing. I know it's a thing depending on which you're using, but I didn't know there would be such a variance between them. So I still got that on here, but I was like, oh, they're probably going to hate this even more now because this is a 9mm. This isn't a 5.56, and then apparently I've got a 5.56 tracer unit on there. So I don't know if I'm going to get more flack. Let me know if that's something that actually could work on this in real steel. But the reason I'm putting it on there is, one, I think it looks pretty cool. It's that AK style, which obviously we've got with the PPK-20. And also it's going to give me tracer functionality. So now with this, I can fire and use a tracer unit, which for me, that's pretty awesome. So I'm kind of quite excited just to test it out. It's not adding a huge amount of like length on the end, which I think is perfect. They sent that to me for free, AceTech, but I think they're around maybe like $60, $70. I'll put a link again to one of these below. I'll try and link everything that I'm putting on here in the build list down below. So hopefully you guys can, if you like something on here, you can go and buy it and not have to like message me and say, hey, can I get a link for that? Right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go with a sight, and I'm going with this Micro T2 red dot. It's a replica, this one, or a Repro. I don't know where I got this from. I'm just going to line this up and just see where we want to put it. I don't know where I got this one from. I had it in like my box of like, you know, sights that I'm not using. So forward a bit on that. So I don't actually know where this one's from. So if you're asking me for a recommendation on this one, I'm afraid I won't be able to tell you, but it's a pretty standard T2 sight. I like it because of the height of it. It's obviously got a very, very, very high profile, which I don't think you necessarily need on this because the stock is actually quite like stepped down, but it definitely feels good in terms of the height that I'm using it at. And I think this is like my little CQB gun is going to be pretty sweet, and I think that fits it pretty well. I was looking at like, okay, can I find like an AK red dot that I can put on there? And this thing is going to be pretty cheap, but it actually does work quite well. Like I can see the reticle pretty well, both eyes open. It's quite easy to use. So we'll test this out and we'll work out if I like it or not. But actually, I think it's going to be a pretty good one. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do with a sight. So already we're kind of getting the look of this. Now, if I'm playing indoors with this, I really like to have flashlight capability, and I like to have laser. Now, what I actually ended up doing to start with, to look at, was putting this on the front. And it works because it is like a foregrip combo. This is from Olight. And actually, if I push that, it's got a flashlight, which is on the front here. Doesn't have a laser, but it does have flashlight, and it is pretty bright. Problem for me is I think this thing is quite light and quite compact. Like it's quite nice in terms of like how it feels. Like, I mean, it doesn't not feel nice. And again, I think this is going to be like a personal preference for a lot of people. Some people will be like, oh, I like this like angled foregrip that oh, dropped a little O-ring here. Some people will say, oh, I like this angled foregrip. I don't like the angle. For some reason, for me, I don't know why people like it, but like that for me is not comfortable. When I stick my arm out, it's just not. I want something more vertical than this. I think it kind of looks cool. It almost looks like, what is that? That FN2000, weirdly. And obviously it is putting a flashlight like right there, center, like underneath. This won't go back any further. If this sat right back here, I think that would actually work a lot better because it's almost like I could grip the magwell then. Whereas right now it's kind of like I'm grabbing it there. What is quite cool is it has the button like where my finger is right here. And Olight is a good company. I know some people don't like them for real steel, but it does look a bit weird and it makes it just feel a lot heavier. I don't like it. It's not that heavy, but it is like a bulky, just like adds a lot of surface area to the replica. And so, I don't know, guys, let me know in the comments below, like if you like the look of that and how it looks and how it would work. But for me, I started looking at that and I tried it on before this video. And then I kind of was like, you know what, I'm not going to go with that. So we'll have to find something else for this thing because I think it is a good concept. It's just, I'm trying to find something I want to put it on. And right now I can't. So that's going to sit to the side. What I decided to go for is another one of these Vitatu M8LGs. Now, I've tried these before. I actually ordered and paid for this myself. I've tried these before because Vitatu have sent this to me previously. Like, they've sent me this for free, or a version of this. And I just really liked them. Like, I have to say, like, for the size of what it is, it's probably the same weight as this, I would say. Yeah, it's the same weight, maybe slightly heavier. But it's super compact. That gives me a laser and a flashlight, and it's an insanely bright flashlight. Sorry if that was doing there. That's an insanely bright flashlight, and it's got a green laser right there. I think this is like 3,000 lumens or something. It's pretty crazy how bright this thing is. I've already tested these, so I know I like them and I know they work. I'll put a link to this as well. You can get them on Amazon. I think this was $60, normally $80 maybe, and it was reduced. But it was for like what I think this is going to work for. And I've actually just realized this may not work. Uh-oh. We're going to have to figure this out, but I think we may have an issue with this. And the issue is what I actually thought the problem was going to be originally is this is like built into the rail, this front sight here. And so I was looking at the version which just sits right on top of the rail. It almost like sits either side, which I think I probably prefer, because it's got the laser off to one side, and then it's almost got the flash or the laser on the top and the flashlight off to the side. The problem is that the laser wasn't going to fit or go through here because obviously I've got this blocking the way. I think this is going to sit in the way too far that it might block it. So my like pre-planning and thinking, wow, look how good I am, I've like figured this out, might have actually backfired, and we may have to reconsider what I'm going to put on this thing. We'll see what other flashlights I've got that are going to work, because I just want to keep this as compact and lightweight as I can while also having the function. Actually, let's take these off first. The nice thing with this actually is it will mount to M-LOK and to Picatinny. So I could potentially try and mount it on the side, but again, I think we might have that same issue. Let's have a look. Let's try it out and we'll see. Okay, so that's there. I'm going to get rid of, put this on my nice little Ido Gear, one Tigris mat. We'll get rid of these. What is quite nice as well, I've just realized, is if I'm not using the screws and the M-LOK nut, I can actually use that on other stuff. And I might have something to use it on, i.e. like a foregrip. Like, look at this here. I've got this 3D printed foregrip, and what I could do probably is drop one of these in here, see if that fits size-wise. Yeah, that's perfect. And then I'll just put it on here, so then that has got its own M-LOK, but we might have to use it, so we'll wait until we find that out in a second. So then this is going to be our Picatinny rail. Now, this is the problem I think we're going to have. If you look here, yes, we are definitely going to have an issue, because that's just bumping it there. That's not actually going to get in place, and that's really annoying. And the other problem I've now got is that this, which is the front handrail release, that is actually also now sitting in the way right there. So I could try and drop it back further. The only thing I could do is really drop it back super far, which I think is going to be counterintuitive. I can't see how that's going to work. Or I drop it underneath, but again, I don't think that's really going to work very well. So the only place I could probably put it, I can't even put it there. So I can't put it there. I can't put it here. Could I put it there? Possibly I can put it there. I think the laser is going to be off center though. Is that straight? It's almost like that's squeezing right there on that edge. Let me see. If I tighten this, is it going to hold it in place? That's going to be the question. Flick this over. Because I think it's just kind of squeezing it at a weird angle, and I don't think it's actually going on right. So what I thought could be this amazing fix, give me something really good to work with. I mean, it's on. Like, the problem is I want it there. Like, that's where I actually want the location of it. The only other thing I'm thinking, so we could try and let's just remove this here. Like, I could make that work. Like, that's there. It's just, I feel like I'm too cramped here. If I could put it there, that would be more comfortable. Okay, well, let's play around with moving it. I'm gonna have to put that sight back on as well. And I'll have to probably, if I end up going with that after this video, I'll have to check and see if I can put it where I can like actually get the laser to shine in the right direction. So if I remove these, and I go, if I went with that, see here, because of the angle of the rail, it's not going to allow me to do that with M-LOK. I could do it here with that Picatinny, but then it's going to be, It's going to be a weird location, I think. Maybe I'll try that and let's see if that looks more possible. So if I go with even with this, it feels like it's not properly sitting in there. Let's try it. I mean, it might work just because the location of my fingers as I grip around it could sit on there nicely. I think the issue that I might have is like accidentally putting it on. Because I think I might just like not be able to know where my thumb is going and then clip it. The other thing is I was planning on putting a 3D printed foregrip on there on the front. So look, it's there now. No, that's really awkward. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to put it back on that first position and we can work out if the laser is going to work there. That's really annoying for me. And that is going to be one thing if you're thinking about doing your build on this PPK is how is my turn this off, I'm like blinding the camera. How is this front sight going to affect what my PEK unit is or what I'm going to do? Because this wouldn't have an issue on most replicas. You're not going to have that same problem. Is it straight? I think it might be straight. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's not going to be the most comfortable in terms of positioning for me, but I'll make it work. My mind starts going into like, what's the other, what are the other versions of this that I could get and put on here that Vertatu have sent me to review. But I have to say, like, they obviously sent me some for free. I bought this one myself, but I do think their products are very, very good. Like, for the price they are, I don't know real steel if that laser is going to hold 0, but for airsoft, like, they are great so far. That's like my... Like I can recharge them. There's a charger that goes on here, so it's easy to recharge. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's going to work. It's going to work. Let's think positive thoughts, guys. I just want it to be straighter. I can just move the laser further right. It's just not going to be obviously as aligned with the... Because it does look, if you look here along that rail, it does look like it's not going straight. I'm going to take off this danger sticker, even though it's there, because I don't want this danger sticker there. Don't take that as a recommendation to do it, because I'm not recommending you take a danger sticker off. Break my only mag. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's there. We'll put this back on. So we know that that is back. And that clears it nicely. I mean, I could actually really like that if we can get that laser to work. So that's it currently. And it feels a lot lighter and a lot easier to use than the equivalent was. Right, so this might be a breaker of whether we put this on or not. Because if I put this on and I can't get my thumb in the right position, so that is kind of how I would normally run it, I think. This is a 3D print that I've done. It's actually really, really good. Got this one off Maker Lab from Bamboo. I could run it either way. think I would run it this way. And then it won't go further than that. But if it is there, like it allows me just to know where my thumb is. And I can bring my thumb back to a position where it's doing the flashlight or forward for the laser. So it's not the worst. It's probably better than, yeah, it's just like my actual wrist angle is just a lot better with it on. The only other one that I have which could work as well is this, which actually might be better. Let me see if that's going to line up. That's not going to go there. It's going to go there. It could actually be better just to have it like that, because it's kind of like a perfect little hook there where I can do it. I think I am going to have to move this sling point, and I'm trying to think where I'm going to move it to. I could put it further up and then have the sling point right at the end here. But I might actually go with this little hook, because I think that might be, or the hand stop I should call it. I'm going to go with that, and we'll see if that's... You may well have seen the thumbnail at the start of this video, and that might give it away, because normally I'll take the thumbnail picture and that'll be, you know, afterwards what I'm doing. I'm going to find some beautiful screws to do this with. I would maybe put that on, but I can't really put that on because obviously that's M-LOK. So I'll put these over here. Lengthwise, what do we need? These might be too small as well. I think I might need to get some bigger screws. Okay, let me go get some bigger screws and I will be back in 1 second. Okay, so I've got some M4s and M5s. That ones that I had were M3s and I think they were too small. Just like the actual nut isn't going to fit inside that area that we need it to. Okay, good thing I got my knife with me. Okay, got that. This might be too wide. That could be good. Let's try this. Okay, that's going to be the right size, which is an M5. It's just, do I have the right length? I'm hoping that this should... go through. It's slightly too wide to get in the start, but if I screw it in, again, like I just like, these are really easy to find, but if you just go to Amazon, you should be able to find a ton of, this could be perfect, just black screws. That's like the, you obviously want different size screws, but you don't particularly, in my opinion, want silver ones just because they look really weird for something like this. Okay, this might be slightly too long because it just sticks out that side, that tiny little bit there. But for right now, we can make that work, and I'll see if I can find a slightly thinner M5. But that one is an M5 by 30 millimeters. So unless I've got an M5, I've got an M5 by 25 apparently. That looks far shorter than that. Let's see what I've got here. M5 by 25. All of these are mixed up, which isn't great because it should just be that I could just look in here and find one. It's not a 25. Those aren't, those aren't. Those aren't, those aren't. That's an M2. So we need something that's thicker and longer. No, no, no. This one, I've got an M5 by 20. I've got an M5 by 20. I think that's going to be too short. I can try this one instead. Yeah, it's going to be too short. I just need an M5 by 25. Why don't you have one? Yeah, those are all too short. This one, M5 by 16 by 12. It says I've got an M5 by 25, and I just don't know why. That's the longest one I have. Maybe. Let's try it. Let's give it a go. This guy. Flip this over. It shows you how long it can take to get just one build done, doesn't it? This is like me having thought before I've done this video. This is going to be a short one that I'll just be able to pop everything onto. And I know exactly what's going on here because I'd planned it out before. And there shouldn't have been any unknowns, but obviously that's not the case. And this is probably, for me, a pretty short one. Yeah, and I don't think that's going to go. No, that's not going to go. Okay, so we'll pull this guy out. There's nothing shorter that I have. Okay, so we're going to stick with that M5 by 30. I'm just going to have to go and order an M5 by 25 to try and get hold of. I do have normally a great selection of nuts and bolts to do, and I bet you I have it in silver, but I don't have it in black, which is what I need. Okay, so that's in place. Right. So that we have there for laser, flashlight. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, the last thing that I want to do is I'm actually just going to put some rail scales on. So these are just like M-LOK rail scales. This is going to be, I'm actually going to move this first so that we can just shift this forward, this M-LOK. And even if I wanted to, like I could potentially do a one that I hang over the end. Sorry, a Picatinny version. And that would work, I think. But again, it's like rail space now, like on there. Like, where's the rail space? I need some space to do it. And why can't I get this to work? Okay, so these won't fit, which is great, which means I'm going to have to go and get another. In fact, we'll just leave that for right now, and then I'm going to sort that out later because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So I'm just going to take these M-LOK rail scales. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put this one into these gaps and just press it in. Just gives me a little bit of texture there just to hold on. And yeah, you can see here, like that's going to be an issue. Like the actual, unless I'm like securing the sling's here, it's going to get in the way of my hand on there. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just have the sling here and then tuck my hand on the inside. Or I move and get an M-LOK, sorry, a Picatinny QD release and I have it there. And then maybe that works better than this one. All right, guys, so that's going to be the build. That is what it looks like after the PPK-20. I think this is going to be pretty good now for my use. Like it's basically giving me everything I want. I have tracer, I have flashlight, I have laser, red dot, obviously sling, and then some support there. So yeah, and this is going to still work like that, which is perfect. So that is me on my PPK-20 build, guys. As I said, I'll have some new magazines for that hopefully very shortly, and I can get those on and then get some gameplay with this thing. But up until that point, it's going to be hard playing with one mag. I hope you guys are good, and let me know what you want to see next on the channel. Goodbye.